Don't forget, I'm broadcasting live today from Hard Rock, right here in Tampa, Florida, one of the most beautiful resort hotels and places to go when you want to have fun. When you say Hard Rock, you got to remember it wouldn't have been no Hard Rock if it hadn't been for this artist we're going to mention, Little Richard. Today is the birthday, December 5th of Little Richard, and we're hosting a Little Richard Honorarium live from Hard Rock. We did have a problem with Zoom, so I got Libby Anthony on the phone, the Atlanta historian. You got to remember, she's the one who said yes to let's make sure that everybody knew what came through the music business through Atlanta. Not just Detroit, not just Chicago, not just New York or L.A. Atlanta had its original base. Talk to him, Libby.
Thank you, Keith. Good evening, everybody. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I really had a video I wanted to play also, but it was a live interview some time ago.
Well, what we're going to do is I'm going to have you send that Libby into the studio, and it will come out tomorrow.
I'll do that. I was thinking earlier about what did I want to say about Little Richard, and you had a very good segue there. He was an architect of rock and roll.
That's right.
Has been lauded in so many. I was just acknowledging the fact that he never received a Grammy. He received the Lifetime Achievement Award, but some of his music has definitely stood the test of time.
That's right.
He in 1993, the Grammys gave him a Lifetime Achievement Award. 3 of his songs, Tutti Frutti, Lucille, Long Tall Sally, and
Good Golly Miss Molly.
Here's Little Richard were inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. He was in the inaugural induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1986.
Correct. Thank
you. Into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, in addition to receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Rhythm and Blues Foundation and from NARAS, which was the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences.
Which I'm a lifetime member.
All right, then.
Okay. Well, they at least acknowledged him. But Richard used to say stuff.
The of African American Museum gave him the Rhapsody and Rhythm Award for his contributions in the formation of popular music and for helping to end the racial divide in concerts and for ending the racial divide in music charts and for significantly changing American culture.
Libby, is so grateful to hear you say those things. It needs to be more of the history of our music. Thank you for what you do.
That's right. That's exactly right. I appreciate the opportunity.
I know you do.
I want to say one other thing that how far Little Richard was ahead of his time. That folks talk about him when he came out. It's been all his life about his pancake makeup and his quote gay appearance, the pompadour and his magic. But Little Richard said he did all that because he was breaking racial barriers. He was going into these little towns with full white audiences and white girls screaming and hollering about him. Ah! But he put on that makeup so he wouldn't be intimidating to white men, but they thought he was gay as opposed to being a black man with all that attention. But even today we have a situation where how far ahead is he, just how difficult it is and how often we have to be in costume. But by the same token, he should set the record and set the stage for RuPaul to come along.
When Richard came along, no black entertainers was wearing makeup. Richard said, this is how you get past the white man. And he took Pancake 21 and put on makeup. If you go back to the original pictures of all the black artists that started after Richard, Jackie Wilson wore makeup. Fats Domino wore makeup. Chuck Berry wore makeup, and I can go down the list of all the other groups that began to wear makeup so that they could cross over. Because in the old days, the blacks were downstairs, the whites were upstairs in the balconies. When Richard played a white place, the white was downstairs, and the blacks would be in the balconies. And when those kids couldn't take it no more and jump over the back, Richard would stand out in front and tell the police, "Child, leave him alone. Ain't nothing going to happen." That was what he's... and he broke the barrier himself.
That's right.
He's the one that stood in front of the police and said, "Don't worry." And little by little, the word got out. If Little Richard plays, don't worry about that. And he still had to dress in the kitchen.
Well,
he broke the barrier, but he had to dress in the kitchen because we dressed in a lot of kitchen. I was the valet. I had to carry the bags.
Right, okay.
So thank you for letting that piece of history be known that it was real.
That's right. The music was great, but what he did for the culture was also unforgettable.
It's unforgettable. That there were, in those days, blacks and whites did not dance together until Little Richard made it happen.
But I would also say, if you allow me, that you can read more about Little Richard and Billy Wright, his mentor, in my book, Atlanta Entertainment History, Juking in the A. It's available at Amazon. Atlanta Entertainment History, very easy to remember.
Say it again, where they can find the book.
The book is available at Amazon, easily available at Amazon. Atlanta Entertainment History. Juking in the A.
Now you know.
Read more about it. Read about the rich history of Atlanta. We gave not only Little Richard, but Tom Dorsey, the father of gospel music. All this on and on. I'm not going to go there.
A lot of people don't remember that Richard did a gospel album. We were just talking to Gus Redmond in Chicago and acknowledged it.
I'm going to send that link because this video is so appropriate for
Send the link, Tim. While you're on the air, Tim, give her where to send it, so you'll have it in a few minutes, and we'll add it to the version that we're getting ready to put out of this honorarium.
All right.
Send it to him, Tim. Tell him that. So all of our listeners, if you want to send something on Little Richard, take down this email address from Soundcheck Studios, Tim Goodrich.
Soundcheck1@gmail, and I'll spell that.
Spell it. Yeah, there you go.
SOUNDCZECH1. That's the numeral. At gmail.com.
Okay, I got a question. Did you say CZ like victory?
Z is in zebra.
Z like zebra.
Like Czech Republic.
Oh, CZ.
Yes, ma'am.
ECH. Okay, got it.
Libby, since I'm actually speaking on this, let me ask you a quick question. I saw the movie The Green Book. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any information about Richard having to go through that same problem that the person in the movie had to go through and other black artists of the time? Could you explain what that is?
Yeah, well, the Green Book, all the artists at that time had to go through, during this, there was no integration, especially in the South. Artists had to go to homes or black-owned motels, hotels, and they traveled the back roads that they had to eat in soul restaurants, black restaurants, or pick up meals at the back kitchen door of a white restaurant, depending if there was one in this particular town. And that was, of course, Little Richard. Of course, he went through that. That was definitely during his era in the 50s. There were no exceptions to the rule. You could have a number one hit, and you could be all you could be, but you couldn't go to the White Hotel. You couldn't get a room there. And the The Green Book was a list of hotels and dining places at where blacks were welcome. So they could stop if they traveled, where they could find a hotel room or a home or inn, or what we probably call them bed and breakfast now, where they could stay overnight and be safe.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. No problem.
Libby, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't forget, I'm broadcasting live right now from Hard Rock, and this is on Little Richard's birthday. We're going to honor Little Richard through everybody. And I got Tim Goodrich, who's worked tirelessly to make this thing happen. We want to thank Tim. And I got Sean on the phone. This is my nephew. Yeah. He wants to say, okay, it's okay already. Uncle Keith's still here. We still going to bless Little Richard when we can. If you didn't find the name, just thank the young man and say hello to the audience.
Yes, hello, everybody. Yeah, I was telling you, Uncle Keith, the story of, actually not the story, I sent you the video. A good friend of mine, yes. Tuma Basa, who is the director of Black Music and Culture over at YouTube, he was actually at Little Richard's gravesite last week, and he sent me pictures and videos. Him and his partner were out there visiting in Huntsville, Alabama, and, you know, he was sending his respects to Little Richard. And what was interesting is he had a young man, his name escapes me at the moment. He's a renowned artist who actually did a Little Richard memorial in the Amazon building in Nashville, Tennessee, that actually sits in the lobby of the Amazon building right now over there in Nashville. And he was there with Tuma at the time. And both of them were sending their respects and just giving their praises to his impact on the history of music, of rock and roll.
And give me the name of the guy who's with YouTube again.
That's Tuma Basa. He is the
Tuma Basa.
Yeah, director of Black Music and Culture over at YouTube.
That's it. Tuma Basa, we want to thank you for continuing what you're doing. And next time, you will be on our Little Richard Honorarium honoring day, which is December 5th every year at his birthday. Sean, we appreciate you doing that. We know how it is out there in the cyber world, which you work in. Thank you so much for at least calling in, and we will get back. We are playing the video. Go into littlerichardhonorarium.com. You will see this whole interview and everything being done in support of Little Richard's birthday. Again, thank you.
You got it. Thanks, Uncle Keith. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Inside your heart, it's so warm. Inside your heart, it's so warm. You think that you're living right, but they don't know, Lord, that you're living right. So open up your heart and let's give him that real beginning. Cause inside my heart is so warm.
broadcasting live from Hard Rock. Right, Hard Rock Studios right here in Tampa, Florida. I have a gentleman on the phone. His name is the Guru, Gus Redmond. He was back there with us in the old days. He knows the music business from way back with Richard, all the way up to us. Now he's one of the few that I can be proud to say still here, carrying the banner. And he's going to give a special shout out to a dear friend of ours who will be on this soon later, Marshall Thompson from Chicago. Gus, say hello.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Well, we made it one more year, Gus. It's just us still here with the battle, and we fighting it every day.
Well, I guess anything that you want to be successful has got to be a battle with it.
Yes, sir.
That comes with the territory, and you and I being young men starting together in this business, and we both, sitting up, I ain't gonna even say the ages yet because we there, but
that's all.
We're not senior citizens. We call ourselves the real school.
The real school.
And
not old school, but the real school.
REEL, real school meets new school. New school is, of course, simple. NU.
Yes,
S, not CK, SKOOL. School. That's the new way. The new way to talk about the young people who's in the business, which the same.
We got to give a tribute.
Started like us,
That's right. But I want to make sure that I know we're here to honor Little Richard and all the history he brought to this business. But I want to say thank you to Marshall Thompson from Chicago. He did receive his Lifetime Achievement Award in Houston. He's on an airplane headed back to Vegas. He wanted to be on this call with us.
Right.
But he said to tell Gus and everybody, say thank you for me because I'm getting an award too. And I said, thank you. Richard would appreciate that because of that. Everybody who visited him at that Andaz Hotel, he always spoke that no matter what, when the Charlottes were in LA, Marshall came by. So we want to give a special shout out to Marshall Thompson.
Yeah, we do. I had a talk with him today, and it was just the best feelings of my life. Because here's two kids grew up together, like 9, 10 years old, and all this is happening for us where we are today. And 80 years later, we both are right at that 80, and I mean,
that's right.
It's been the struggle. There's been some serious issues, and thank God that we here today to talk and to still share the memories and all the things that it took for us to get to, because it took a lot of hustling and bustling, man. Listen, man,
yes,
when I hear these kids today, the Jay-Z's and all that, they don't know what we know.
No. When you say Little Richard, OK Corral, that was Chicago.
OK
Corral. That was Chicago studios.
Right.
Okay.
That was the Chicago studio, right?
When Richard came back into the industry, Art Roop was sick. Specialty wouldn't take him back.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his name? In OK Corral, Chicago, invited Richard up and gave him a contract. And Richard was able to come back in. Not only did he did his regular stuff, he did a blues album and a gospel album with the OK Corral out of Chicago. People don't know that.
Back during that time, VJ Records, which was Jimmy Reed, the Starlight, not the Starlight, but Gene Chandler, and Curtis Mayfield, the Impressions, the Spaniels, the Dales. That was the first black record label that was back in Chicago that was very successful coming out of here off of Record Row. And there's some things even next week that you and I are sharing that next 2 weeks that I got you coming to Chicago to be represented to who you were with our back and forth connections with the world.
Yes, sir. Right.
Because
yes, sir,
Chicago was where it was all that for us. So right on Record Row,
And, Gus, I appreciate you telling us about it. You and I got one whole show we're going to do, period. I got Libby Anthony on the other line trying to get in, and I'm going to make sure I get her done.
Okay.
But blessings.
And tell her I said hi.
We'll tell Libby and everybody that you said hi, and that we want to do a regular show now, putting all of your Chicago music on our 3 radio stations.
Yeah. We got
pay you anyway, but I want to take care. I want to take care of all of the people. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Many blessings.
Good
Thanks
talking
a lot.
to you, man, and good blessings to you as well. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. That's your best.
Bye-bye.
Guess what? Getting ready to get ready. I got Libby Anthony coming on. They can enter his story. So stay right with us.
I was born in the country, lived in the county, raised on a farm, didn't do nobody wrong. Girlfriend Annabella, she had a lot of fellas. You know she could be trusted. Lord, it kept me so disgusted. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna California. I moved to Alabama, went to Louisiana, back to Mississippi. Lord, I flew on out to Texas, got to leave. Oh, baby, got to leave. Everybody know, Lord, that I got to go. Keep on moving. I keep on moving. Now I went on over in Texas. I met a girl named Bessie. She was a good old friend. Stuck with me to the end. I got to leave. Oh, baby. Everybody got to go. Gotta find my love some more. I gotta leave. Keep on searching, trying to find. California stays on my mind. If I have to hitchhike, I gotta get going. If I have to beg a party, keep on going. I'm going to California. I'm going to California. I'm going to California. I'm going to California. Head your way. California, I plan to stay. I hope you receive me well. I got a story that I got to tell. You gotta be good to me, California. I'll be good to you. You gotta be good to me, California. I'll be good to you.
Yes, this is Keith, the boss of the beach. We're broadcasting live from Hard Rock in Tampa on a special day. December 5th is Little Richard's birthday. He's gone, but his music will live forever. And this is the Little Richard Honorarium. And I have Miss Lisa Cortes on the phone, a very busy lady, and she's going to tell you about an upcoming event, a documentary. Say hello, Lisa.
Hello, everybody. And isn't it amazing that we can gather here to celebrate what would have been Mr. Richard Wayne Penniman's 90th birthday. And what a
90th birthday.
To all of us and to music and to culture. I'm directing a film called Little Richard, I Am Everything. And in 2023, this film will be out in the world so that everyone can continue to give Little Richard his flowers for all of his contributions to music to discovering stars from Billy Preston to the Beatles, and being a part of an incredible legacy that gives us joy, hope, and inspiration whenever we hear his music.
Lisa, thank you so much. Tell everybody we said hello, and we appreciate this call. And we will stay in tune until next year when the documentary is released. And we'll be there for it.
Thank you so much, Keith. And happy
Thank you so much for all you're doing and all you've done. Many blessings. This is Keith, the boss of the beach. We're going on to the next person on the call. I'm over and out with a shout live from Hard Rock. Pick me a machine and we'll be in forever. Blessings. Over and out with a shout. I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Of course, this is the Little Richard Honorarium. We honor Richard every year on his birthday, December 5th. This year, we're broadcasting live right here at Hard Rock. And I got one of the people who's always been there for Richard. His brother, Lee Hooks, followed me, became valet road manager. And this is the marvelous Morris Roberts, a blues man in his own right, an agent in his own right. And we do want to say something about Helen Greer in this to thank her for her years. She passed on again on Little Richard's birthday. Morris, say hello.
Hello, boss of the beach, and listeners of WVEE Radio. My name, as you know, Morris Roberts, a.k.a. Marvelous Mo Morris. Little Richard is just somebody that you'll never, ever forget. Somebody, if you've ever been in his presence, you feel loved, you feel welcome, you feel energized. Because that's what Richard was about, energy and bringing good music to the people. And keep, around before I got into music, Richard was doing blues. His first recording, a lot of that stuff was blues. And I was listening to some of the other day on your website on the Little Richard Honorarium, which is very informative about Richard. That's a song that I remember when I was a little kid. Like Long Tall Sally. There you go. When I was a kid, Long Tall Sally. That was a real good one. That was a real good one there. And he was singing his heart out.
Well, the thing about it is, you and I both know something that the world doesn't know. Tell them about the real Lucille.
The real Lucille. Well, I'm about to tell you the truth about the real Lucille. The real Lucille is about my cousin, who's, Richard's from Macon, Georgia, as you know.
Yes.
On the radio, my family. My cousin named Lucille. She's from Macon, and I didn't know that she and Richard and all of them knew each other coming up. So when we was doing a documentary on Richard, and I called her, and I called Richard up on the phone, they both talked, and they remembered each other. But she was the one that he wrote the song about. Lucille, what you do, your sister will. So she's still living today.
Mr. Morris Roberts, the fabulous Mo Morris, is telling the whole truth about the real Lucille. Morris, thanks for taking time to do this with us today. Really appreciate it.
Keep one other thing before you go, Boss Beat. Please remember that had it not been for Miss Helen Greer, one of the first females to establish a book in the state of Georgia.
This week on the radio.
I would not have met you. I would not have met you guys. So give credit and praise to Miss Greer. She's gone but not forgotten. And Little Richard gone but never forgotten. So thank you so much, Boston Beach, for having me on. Anything else you guys need me to do, to talk about and honor our friend, my buddy, my pal, the late Little Richard, Long Tall Sally, sleeping in the alley, Lucille, I'm willing to do that. Because he was a great...
All right, it's over now. It's over and out with a shout. Thank you, Mr. Morris Roberts.
You're welcome. You're extremely welcome. And to the fruit, old Rudy.